Right. Good evening, everybody. I believe you can see me and we can hear me. So, if you can see me and you can hear me, please type something in the comments so that I can know you're with me. Oh, I think I have 4 viewers already. Just something in the comments. All right, good evening, everybody. If you can see me and you can hear me, please drop something in the comment section. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. You can see me, you can hear me. Thank you. Um, so what I'll be doing now, I'm trying to bring up my guests.
Right.
All right, good evening. So we bless God for today, for this evening. This is Ignite Your Future Conference, season two. Season two, actually. So we did season one last year. Okay, so before the first speaker comes up, let me just give you a brief history of how it started. It started basically. It was in yeah, okay. Okay. So as I was saying, late 2023, I was privileged to be made the CDS president of my CDS group education, and I was thinking in my heart, what can I do for people before I leave as the CDS president. What can I do? What can I talk about? And it was laid in my heart to have a conference where I gather um, youths, young adults, mature teenagers, and talk to them about their future. So I went about all secondary school in my local government area. I gathered them in a place and I invited guest speakers to come and speak to them on how to have a successful future, basically, majorly about their career, finance, business, basically. So I thought it has ended and I forgot it there. And then sometimes after April 2024, when I became when I've passed out of the NYSC scheme, it was made in my heart to make sure that the event is actually a yearly event, a yearly event. So and I started thinking, what will I do? How will I do it this year? 2025 is about to run out and all of that. But then I thought, okay, it doesn't have to be a physical event, it could be a virtual one. So here we are, 2025 season 2 of Ignite Your Future conference, and we bless God. So now this evening, our first speaker will be our first speaker is going to be Mr. I don't want to call him a pastor because this is not a religious event. So let me just use Mr. Dio Jude. Um, he's going to be the one speaking with us first, but briefly before he comes up, before I bring him up, I want to read just a short bio of him so that you can know a little about the person that is coming to speak with you, so that you can know a little about him. All right. So um before that, you see, I want you to know that ignite your future. The future, most of the time when people talk about the future, when we say the future, we usually think something 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, but it's not actually like that. The future is tomorrow. The future is the next 1 minute. The future is the next 30 seconds, because you don't actually know what will happen in the next minute. And that's why it is called future. So don't think, when we talk about future, don't think something like 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. No, it is something that can now happen now. The future is now. The future is not 50 years time. The future is now. So you've had people that uh that became, what's it called, that you saw probably yesterday or you saw a day before, and then the following day they are telling you that this person is no more, is the person already passed on. If you had known that in the next couple of minutes or in the next couple of hours this person will be no more, there are some things that you'd have probably done to the person better, right? So now don't think that future is something that is far away. Future is something that is now, and we have to plan for it. So that is it basically. And so let me read about my guests, our first speaker for today, without wasting time. So Dio Jube is a distinguished life coach, counselor, and a trainer that is dedicated to empowering individuals to unlock their full potential. He's renowned for his expertise in public speaking, self-mastery, personal development, and actualization. He has profoundly impacted the lives of a lot of young people and adults alike, with a passion for uplifting others. He specializes in helping individuals overcome low self-esteem, build unshakable confidence, and navigate life's challenges. Through his guidance and counseling services that he offered both online and offline, he has been instrumental in transforming lives by addressing depressive symptoms, resolving marital conflicts, and providing practical tools for personal and relational growth. So Mr. Dio is an inspiring coaching okay, his inspiring coaching style equips singles with clarity and purpose while helping couples strengthen their bond their bonds and resolve conflicts with empathy and understanding. His workshops and training sessions are highly sought after, leaving participants inspired, motivated, and equipped to take charge of their lives. And he is a beacon of hope and positivity. His mission is to inspire lives and transform destinies. He's one person at a time. So whether mentoring young people, coaching professionals, or people guiding families, he remains committed to his calling as a transformational force in the lives of others. And he's also one of my mentors and also one of the people that trained me in public speaking as well. So with clapping ovation in the comment section, let's welcome Dayo Jube. Sorry. So let's welcome him, and I'll be adding him to the stage now. Please unmute your mic, sir.
All right. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
All right. So can I go on?
Yes, sir. You can go ahead, sir.
All right. Good evening, everyone. It's a privilege being here this evening, and I want to appreciate Mr. Damilola for this opportunity that he gave this evening to speak with these great minds. And I trust the Lord that we'll be able to have an interesting time and at the same time an enlightening time together within the short time that I have to discuss with you. Once again, my name is Dayo Jube, and I've been training core members and different kind of people in public speaking for a while right now, and we have seen very solid results. So I believe that as we engage in this conversation this evening, we should have something profound at the end of this discussion. I think we should pray. I hope I'm allowed to pray.
All right, you can go ahead, sir.
All right. Father, thank you. We give a praise. Thank you for this opportunity that you have granted to us to learn and to draw from your wisdom. As we get into this conversation, we ask that our eyes of understanding be enlightened. I ask that wisdom is supplied unto us as a people. Thank you, Father. In Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. Amen. All right. Before I get into the discussion, I want to also take this time to celebrate Mr. Damilola for coming up with this vision this evening. I remember last year when he was discussing with me about the vision that he had in mind. I said that he could go ahead with it because it's something that is going to be very impactful, something that is going to be of a blessing to a generation. And then he took the bull by the horn and decided to launch out. And here we are again having the second edition of this program. I believe that the transformation that a generation experiences is largely dependent on the people who are carriers of vision, people who can see what ordinary people cannot see and who can take the needed step that can be of help to that generation. So I want to appreciate Mr. Damilola for coming up with this. And thanks to everyone who also joined this evening. I've been asked to talk on igniting your career. Igniting your career. And I think I have 20 to 25 minutes to discuss this. Though this is a very broad topic.
30 minutes, sir.
Okay, I have 30 minutes. Thank you. Though this is a very broad topic, but we'll try to see how to explore some things within the brevity of time that we have. The word career actually talks about profession or occupation that an individual chooses. And it's one of the things that actually determines the fulfillment that the life of an individual will ultimately develop or have. Now, there are people who are frustrated and depressed, and the only reason why they seem to be depressed and frustrated is probably because they are having crises. They are having challenges in their career. And that's to tell you that the career of an individual plays a very strong role in the life or in the journey of an individual. So if the career is gotten rightly, a good percentage of the person's life has been rightly gotten. And if it's also gotten wrongly, that would also tell you that a good percentage of the person's life has been wrongly gotten.
Right.
If someone has a good marriage,
Thanks to Mr.
I hope I'm audible, please. Mr. Damilola, am I audible?
Yes, sir, we can hear you, sir.
All right. So as I was saying, if someone actually got it rightly in marriage and failed in career, you will still realize that the person feels frustrated or depressed. And that's to let you know that we all have a responsibility to ensure that we get it right when it comes to the subject of career, or when it comes to choosing the kind of career that we want to go for in life. Because career is simply an avenue through which an individual expresses the giftings, the potentials, and the resources that God might have actually deposited in the life of the individual. So we're going to explore one or two things this evening, and I'm trusting God that it's going to be a great time. So the word ignite is what we're going to start with, because I'm a kind of person that has been trained to pay attention to words. And we're going to look at the word ignite in the context in which we are considering this subject this evening. The word ignite actually talks about to spark or to trigger a new energy or passion, direction, or progress in one's career journey. I'll repeat. In this context, the word ignite talks about sparking or to spark, to trigger new energy, passion, direction, or progress in your career journey. So that suggests to me, if we are talking about igniting your career and looking at this contextual definition of the word ignite, that may suggest to me that some of the people, or perhaps most of the people that are here or are already on a career path. However, certain experiences can be taking place that might require that there should be an ignition in that career path. For example, there is the tendency to have an experience that reduces the energy you have in your career as a person. There is the tendency to have an experience that makes you to begin to just lose interest in your career. And when that begins to happen, I'm actually emphasizing on the people that already have chosen a career path and they're already walking towards that direction. So if you are experiencing a decline in interest, a decline in energy, a decline in passion in the course of your career, then it becomes important to begin to consider the need to ignite or to reignite. Now, when things like this begin to happen, if an individual begins to lose interest in the career that the person has chosen, there are factors that can actually be responsible. But before I actually talk about the factors that could be responsible and how to fix the factors that could be responsible, let me quickly say this. Let me share this thought with you. I have come to realize that the earlier we understand how valuable our career is in the economy, the better it is. What am I trying to say? The economy of a nation is largely dependent on the career that the people in that society might have embraced or might have chosen. So what we are trying to say is that the strength of an economy is actually largely dependent on the career that a people have chosen. So if the economy of a nation particularly, or a society is weak, we might have to actually consider the kind of career that the people have chosen. If the economy of a nation or a society seem to be very strong, we might also have to identify the kind of career that the people have chosen. So this also helps us to know that, or to see that, career is something that we cannot handle lightly. Are you with me at all? I would also like to say that, the essence of engaging in a career, particularly for those of us who are in this part of the world, most of the time our decision is usually built on the remuneration that we will get at the end of that decision. For example, a lot of people actually choose career because of the financial reward that they are actually going to get from the career. And I believe what I'm saying resonates with a good number of people. We choose this career or that career primarily because of the financial reward that we're going to get from the particular career. But may I say at this point that the financial reward is important, but should not actually be the major factor that influences an individual's decision when it comes to career selection. Though that might have been what is obtainable in this part of the world. And having interacted with a lot of people, I've come to realize that people can actually be making money from a particular career and still be frustrated because there isn't a connection or a synchrony between the career the person has chosen and the framing of the individual or the framing of the person. So it is important at this point to understand that finance should not be the sole factor that influences career selection. All right. Having said that, I would like to get back to what I was trying to say concerning the topic, Ignite. So there is the tendency for an individual's passion, interest, energy to drop in the course of engaging in one's career. And I want us to look at some factors that could be responsible for that. The first thing I have to say on this is lack of motivation. It is very possible for an individual to begin to have a decline in energy when motivation has also dropped. And I actually want you to know that in the course of doing the career that you might have chosen, you can get to a point where motivation begins to drop. You can get to a point where energy begins to drop. So lack of motivation can cause what we are talking about. Lack of motivation can affect an individual's career energy, career passion. That's the first thing. Lack of motivation can bat that. Number two factor that can be responsible for that is lack of fulfillment. Energy can begin to drop when there isn't fulfillment. And I also would like to say at this point that you can be engaged in a career that is not bringing about fulfillment or a sense of fulfillment. And if an individual is involved in a career that does not bring that sense of fulfillment, that sense of satisfaction, the next that can happen is that energy, passion can begin to drop. That's the second thing I've actually put on. The third thing that I've also put on here is that if there is a disconnect with one's personal purpose, and this is very critical. I repeat, if there is a disconnect with one's personal purpose. I hope I'm audible. Mr. Damilola.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. If there is a disconnect with one's personal purpose, it's very possible for energy to drop, for energy to come down. And what am I trying to say? It is possible for an individual to be doing a career, to be embarking or engaging in a career that is completely different from the purpose of that individual. And I've come to realize that usually when this kind of thing happens, energy can begin to drop. It just comes to a point where you realize that what you are doing is losing taste. You just realize that what you are doing is not resonating with you as an individual. And the factor might just be because there isn't an alignment between what the person is doing and the purpose of that individual. And that suggests to you and I that we all have the responsibility to ensure that we figure out our purpose when it comes to career selection. Though this may sound very difficult and challenging for most people, but at the same time, it is one of the things that must be put into consideration, because your career is something you are going to do for a good number of your years on earth. There are people who actually engage in their career for like 50 years, some 45 years, some 30 years, and some 35 years. Now, if you are going to invest a good portion of your life into something that does not have an alignment with your purpose as an individual, then we need to begin to ask questions. We need to begin to check certain things. So if you are going to embark on a career, one of the things that you need to pay attention to as an individual is, does this thing align with my purpose? And let me say this to you. You can actually be making money in a particular career, but purpose is not just in place. So people are considering you as someone who is doing well. People are looking at you as someone who is enjoying. But deep on the inside, you are feeling frustrated. And the only reason or the major cause of that frustration might be because the purpose of your life does not align with the career that you have chosen. In fact, one of the things I've come to realize is that when you choose a career that aligns with your purpose, you don't retire from it. I repeat, I've come to realize that when an individual chooses a career that aligns with that person's purpose, it is something that you don't retire from. You can retire from an organization, but somehow you just realize that even after retiring from that organization, you are still engaging in the activity, because that is something you are called out for. That is something you have been framed for as an individual. So that's the number 3 factor that could be responsible for a decline in energy, in career energy. Number 4 is lack of dream. Number 4 factor that can be responsible for a decline in career energy or career passion is lack of dream. And again, let me say at this point that it's very possible for you to be involved in a career and you don't even have a dream. You just have the mind that, okay, let's just keep doing it. Let's keep doing it. So you go on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and when it is Friday, you are happy it's Friday. You keep singing, oh, thank God it's Friday. I'm going to retire from this for the next 2 days and all that. And usually what brings people to this state is simply because they don't have a dream. Number 5 point that I'm going to actually mention that could be responsible for a decline in energy, in career energy, is poor remuneration. Poor remuneration. If you are engaged in a career and the remuneration that you are getting from that career does not commensurate with your input, there is every tendency for energy to drop. I repeat, if the remuneration you are getting from a career that you are doing does not commensurate with the input, there is the tendency for the career energy to begin to drop. And the last thing I'm going to mention is lack of relevant skill and capacity. Lack of relevant skill and capacity. If you are involved in a career, if you are doing a particular career and your skill level or your capacity level does not match what you are doing, a time is going to come when you realize that there can begin to be a decline in your energy, because you just realize that the inputs that you are making, what word can I use now? Okay, let me just still make use of that same word. The inputs you are having is not something that is encouraging enough. It does not encourage you. It does not encourage the organization. It does not encourage the team members that you are working with. And the only reason that is responsible for that is because your skill level is stagnant or is declining. Your capacity level is stagnant or is declining. Now, having said this evening, it therefore becomes important for us to look at how to then fix these challenges. And I'm actually concentrating on those who probably might have chosen a career path and probably already engaging in a career path, but energy level has started dropping. Interest has started dropping. Motivation has started dropping. Passion has started dropping. How can we fix this challenge? The interesting thing is that this challenge is actually something that can be fixed if you have chosen a career path. But if you have not chosen a career path, it becomes more interesting, because that simply means that you can escape these kind of challenges that we have mentioned this evening. So for those who might have chosen, or perhaps who have not even chosen, how can we fix these challenges? The first thing I'm going to mention this evening is that you must answer the question, why are you in this career? I repeat, you must be able to answer that question. The question why. Why have you chosen this career path? Why am I in this career? Am I in this career just because I want to make money? Or I'm in this career for some other reasons? If the reason why you have chosen that career is so that you can make money, I tell you, by the time you are involved in that, you have been involved in that career for 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, 1 year, and the kind of money that you intend to make is not being made, I tell you, energy level is going to begin to drop. And that has happened to many people who chose a particular career because of financial gain or because of financial reward. I repeat, if the reason why you have chosen this career is because of a financial gain, and you are not getting that thing as soon as you expected to have it, the next that is going to begin to happen is that your energy level, your interest, your passion is going to begin to drop. And that has happened to many people. So you need to answer that question. Why have I chosen this career that I've chosen? Or why am I choosing this career that I am choosing? And that's something that I actually wanted to consider, particularly for those of us who might be choosing a career path as we enter into the new year. Why do you want to choose that career path as an individual? What is the factor that is sponsoring that decision that you are taking or that you have taken as a person? And in case you have to encourage to carry out a retreat, a thinking retreat, a reflection retreat, where you can begin to ask yourself, why did I choose this path? Why have I decided for this career path? What exactly is the driving force? What exactly is moving me? What exactly is pushing me? You know, when you see someone who has chosen a career path because of impact, money will be important, but money will not be the major driving force. But I also would like to say to you this evening, because of the kind of economic challenge that we have had in this part of the world, money drives most of the things that we do. I repeat, because of the financial and economic challenge we've had in this part of the world, money drives most of the things that we do. Only for us to have done it for some time, and then we don't get satisfied. We don't find fulfillment. And that's why some people can begin to ask the question, oh, there is this gap. I don't even know what is responsible for this gap in my life. There's this gap. And the reason might be because the person has chosen a path, probably because the person wanted to make money. And the person made that money. But unfortunately, there is this fulfillment gap that the person is having. So I'm actually asking you this evening, why have you chosen the career path that you have chosen? Or why are you choosing the career path that you want to choose? Number 2 point I'm going to mention in trying to fix the challenges I already itemized initially is that there must be a clear-cut direction on the career you want to build. Please pay attention to the word build, not just do. There must be a clear-cut direction on the career that you want. Excuse me, please. There must be a clear-cut direction on the career path or the career that you want to build as an individual. I've come to realize that for most people, discovering the career path to build wholly is a challenge. I repeat, for most people, identifying a career path to build wholly is actually a challenge. Some people do try and error. Oh, can I try this? Can I try that? Can I try this? Can I try that? Can I just go and do this? Perhaps I will level up with this. Can I go and do masters? Maybe it will help me to gain an advantage and all that. But the person has not identified the exact career path to build. And one of the things I've come to realize is that those who discover the career path that they want to choose quite early or they want to build quite early become exceptional quite early. I repeat, those who identify the career path that they want to build quite early also become exceptional quite early because there is a sense of focus that comes with having a direction. I repeat, there is a sense of focus that comes with having a direction. And that is the reason why it becomes important that every one of us identifies a career path to choose or to build particularly. Now, what does that do for you? When you have a career path or a career that you want to build, you would realize that you can never be stagnant at any point in time. And I'm going to explain that. You would realize that you can never be stagnant. Why? Once you have been able to identify the career that you want to build, you know that the next thing you need to do is to begin to gather the needed resources for preparation. I repeat, you would realize that the next thing you got to begin to do is to gather the resources that you need for preparation. So even if you have not gotten to your destination, you can keep preparing. And for every preparation, there is a measure of advancement that takes place towards what you have proposed to build. I hope you're with me. It is when people do not have that clarity concerning what they want to build that they begin to say they are stuck or they are stagnant. Can I say this to you at this point in time? Having that clarity helps you to know that you are moving from point A to point B, from point B to point C, from point C to point D. So even if you have not been able to get to your destination, your act of preparation is an expression of progress. And I think at this point, we also have to begin to celebrate preparation, not just destination. Because you cannot arrive at a destination when you have not even prepared yourself. But one of the things I've come to realize about people or with people is that when preparation is taking place, people seem not to appreciate their preparation time. How many minutes do I have left, please?
About 5, sir.
Ow, ouch. I have 5 minutes left. All right, no problem. I'll maximize the remaining minutes. No problem. So people seem not to celebrate their preparation time. So that comes with another crisis. Now, can I say this? In case you have identified a career path you want to choose and you have not started getting the kind of result you desire to get, appreciate the preparation that is actually taking place. But one of the things that is going to facilitate that is your ability to know this is what I want to build. It's like somebody who has chosen a career path or career to build in academics. You know that the time to pursue master's program is part of your preparation time. And that in itself has to be prepared, to be celebrated. The time to pursue your PhD is part of preparation time. And that in itself has to be celebrated. So that's one of the things that happens when you have a clear-cut direction on the kind of career that you want to build. And I want to leave you with this. Please, go and figure out the career that you intend to build. Number 3, I'll just rush through the remaining things I've got here so that I can round up. Thank you. Number 3 point is identify your potential. Identify your potential. In choosing the career that you want to build as a person, you must not let go. You must not trivialize. You must not try to underestimate the potential that the Creator has blessed you with. You know, I've seen people go in the direction of a career that ordinarily they do not have potential for. However, let me say at this point, there could be inherent potential and there could be acquired capacity. Both are essential when it comes to career. But one of the things that I would like to pay attention to this evening is that as an individual, you must identify the potential that you have. Personally, I know I could not have gone into accounting because I do not have potential for that career path. If I attempted it, I might be successful, but I will still be frustrated. And it's very possible to succeed in a career path and still feel frustrated because if there is a disconnect between your ability, your natural ability, and the career path that you have chosen as a person. And the last thing I'm going to mention here, or maybe let me mention 2 more. Number next, which should be number 4, is that when you have chosen a career path or a career that you want to build, please have a big dream. Don't have a small dream. Have a big dream. Don't just have a dream of, oh, I just want to get to the top alone. Have a dream that is bigger than just getting to the top of your profession. Have a dream of building something that can be a legacy, serve as a legacy. Not just having a position, but something that can serve as a legacy. I repeat, have a big dream. Not just wanting to be at the top only, but a dream that can be a blessing to the next generation. A dream that can be a blessing to your posterity. So I say to you this evening, ensure that when you have chosen your career path, have a big dream. And the last thing that I would say here is that in choosing your career path, identify the problems that you want to solve. What are the unique problems that you want to solve? Every career is designed to solve a unique problem. Please listen to that again. Every career is designed to solve a unique problem. And for us as a people, we are not designed to solve all problems. Every man is designed to also solve a unique problem. Can you begin to identify the unique problem that your career will solve as a person and begin to apply yourself to it? Thank you so very much this evening. I hope somebody has actually gotten 1 or 2 things. Thank you once again, Mr. Damilola, for this platform you have granted. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. We really appreciate you. I believe people have actually gotten 1 or 2 things down. So please, if you have any question for him before he leaves, please you can ask in the comments so that we can take 1 or 2 questions before the next speaker comes up. So if you have a question, please Please type it in the comments within the next 10 seconds. All right. People are saying thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yeah. All right. Are there questions so that we can move to the next agenda for today? Okay. So I don't think I'm seeing questions, only appreciations. So we'll move to the next plan or agenda for today, which is to bring up our next guest speaker, and he'll be sorry. So let me read about him before I bring him up. So our next speaker is Pastor Israel Abiodun, and is the initiator of Level Up Network Inc., aka Wisdom Discovery Youth Impact. Is the online pastor of Wisdom Discovery Friends and for about a decade now, and he volunteers to serve in different youth development bodies, Young Christian Development Initiative. He also serves as a regional coordinator of national coordinator and national. Sorry, let me take that again. He serves as a regional coordinator and national traveling secretary of the organization of the Young Christian Initiative. He is a volunteer of the member of the Gold Arts Foundation, and also is an author of several books. Some of them hard copies and some of them physical. And among those books are Before You Are 30, Battle in Courtship, Take Advantage of What You Have, On Your Mark, A Better You Is Possible, How to Find a Purpose, Determine Your Area of Excellence. So Pastor Israel Abiodun influences through several hands. He impacts youth financial life and leading them to know more and also have practical experience in business and sales. He has been awarded twice by the Sun King Solar Company for his relentless efforts at being a leader to mentor and support youths to have a stable financial life. So he is a set man for the annual A Better You conference, which holds to sensitize and educate youth for a better possibility. So, and lastly, is the host and convener of Level Up Business Conference, and is married with wonderful children. So, I'll be bringing him up stage now to speak to us, and after that, we can as well ask him question. So, before I bring him up, I'm sorry, I think I have a question here for Pastor Oladayo Jube. Sir, are you still with us so that I can read the question, sir? Can you please unmute your mic, Mr. Da- I don't want to. Mr. Dayo Jube? Are you still with us, sir? I have two questions for you. Yeah. If you are still with us, please unmute your mic, sir, so that I can read out the question. Okay, I think he's not here at the moment. So if he joins later, I'll bring him up to answer the question. So let me bring up Let me bring up Pastor Israel building for.
Adetunji, thanks for having me. All right. Thanks to Mr. Damilola Adetunji. Thanks for having me here. Thanks for this invitation. I don't take it for granted. And I want to thank God with you for the second edition of Ignite Your Future. And this year, it's all about conceiving the vision of the future. All right. So, in a short while, I would like to do justice to this topic using personal references and see, trust God that it's going to help you and build and boost your morale for excellence into that realm. Now, we're going to talk about what vision is and define what the future is. Then we'll go on to talk about how to conceive the future. Yeah. So let's make a start because of our time that is limited. What exactly is vision to you? I know you have several vision definition, but just to add to your knowledge bank, let me just say that vision is not imagination. No, don't take it to be imagination. Take vision to be a reasonable intention with direction. Yeah, reasonable intention with direction. And once you take it that way, it's going to help you to take certain actions that only you can understand. Oh, yeah. But because you are personally convinced without being able to understand or being able to carry anybody along, you'll be able to take your stand. So, in the concept of visionary, I want to speak more about vision. Or rather, let me say, in the concept of vision, I want to speak more about visionary, people that are driven with visions and they are fulfilling, they are on stage, they are performing, they are visionaries. So, 6 points I would want you to understand. The first one is visionaries are people that are host tomorrow today. Even as they are living today, they have in their hands what tomorrow looks like. And another thing is that you've got to understand that visionaries influences lives beyond their own. Oh yeah, people with vision, they they influence life, or rather, let me say, they influence more lives beyond their personal scope, or rather, let me say, beyond their own personal life. Their lives, their doings, their actions gives direction. Yeah, gives direction. And another thing is that we should know that they didn't start wise. No visionary started wise. It doesn't matter whether you think they inherited it or they were lucky. There's nothing like that. They were not lucky. Most of them are not lucky. Just as Oyedepo we says, I am not lucky, I am walky. So they didn't start wise, they didn't start rich, they didn't start powerful. They grow into relevance. Yeah. So they grow into relevance using the factor and that is the factor of discipline, learning, and the factor of obedience. Is a constant factor. All right? Visionaries, they are not spectators in life. They are not. They are actors in the stage of life. And I want you to also join. I wish that you would be. It's important that you should be. Your life will not remain the same. But I know it could be demanding to climb the demand, the challenge from there to the reality, but it's possible. Oh, yeah. It has happened to some, it can happen to you too. Yeah. Now, what is exactly the future? Adding to your knowledge bank, because I know you have the understanding of what future really means, but adding to your knowledge bank, let me just say that future is not far away. The link between today, the days, into the next is just the future. It's not far away. The future is not far away. It's already present. But the issue is that it's not yet opened. Yeah, it's not yet opened. So let's look at the future in this perspective. Number one, the perspective of the future is a book with a seal that is yet to be opened. Number two, think of the future as a destination that requires entry. Yeah, a destination that requires you to enter. Now, think of the future as a harvest that is determined by the past seed. If you look at these three concepts, you will see that the future is more in your hands. So we are defining the future as not being too far, and it's a book that is sealed to be opened by you. Yeah, opened by you. So the future is just yours to unfold. Yeah, yours to unfold. All right, now I would like to talk about conceiving the vision of your future. That's where you've got to really know what is demanding on you. Number one, the conception is deeply personal. The conception of your future is deeply personal. No one can conceive a future for you. Yeah, no one can conceive a vision for you. It's personal. And so that's why I would say that the vision is individual, the vision is internal, and a vision is intentional. Yeah, it's intentional. Sometimes ago, I had been a church pastor, but I was never satisfied from within. I was doing very well. Oh, yeah, I was doing very, very well as a church pastor, but I was not satisfied until I had some funny things that happened, and I took it that for the fact that I was not satisfied from the inside and I was pleasing people, then I've got to choose one, either to live my life to please God in fulfillment of destiny or to please people. So I made up my mind that I want to please God. And that made me a U-turn and made me off the track of being a church pastor. And hence, I've been into the youth ministry and committed to teaching training. Yeah, teaching training. And to the glory of God, God is helping me. See, God is helping me. So, vision is personal. So many people crowded around me, asking so many questions, demanding the why. As much as I keep explaining, they don't understand. They don't understand. But when they begin to see the fruits and the blessings and the glory of that commitment, then they begin to comply. They begin to understand. So vision is individual. Vision is internal. Vision is intentional. All right? Just as a conception begins a secret, so much that even the two involved in intercourse do not really know. In the same way, conceiving a vision is secret before it becomes visible. Your future ahead of you is first formed within you before it is seen around you. Very, very important to know that. And you cannot give birth to what you have not first conceived. You can't. So you've got to first conceive it, then you give birth to it. So let's go to part 4. The part 4, I would like to explain how vision is conceived. There are several ways I'll be explaining, and the first one is vision can be conceived by encounter. Oh yeah, encounter. Every genuine vision begins with encounter. It could be an encounter with an idea, it could be an encounter with a particular message, it could be an encounter at a particular moment, it could be an encounter with a problem that refuses to leave you. Just encounter, because it's encounter that awakens awareness. if you are thoughtful enough, if you are conscious enough, if you are sensitive enough, you will understand that you have had serious encounter. See, I remember sometimes ago when I was much younger as a youth in church, I saw a flyer on the floor. I read through the flyer, my mind follows through the flyer, and I had to travel several kilometers to attend that particular conference. And there I contacted the teaching training ministry, the teaching training grace from the man of God, Bruce Wilkinson, that came from America to preach, to teach, and to train. So after it all, he called some people that are interested in carrying on, uh, impacting others. And I was among the people that came and he laid hands upon us. Can you believe that it took me almost about 20 years to come to the reality of trying to stand on the stage to teach train? Got that encounter. I never took it serious. I never knew it was something that my destiny was waiting for. That was an encounter. So what have you encountered that you are laying low, laying behind you? Think through, right? Think through. So apart from an encounter, then we can talk about burden, the burden of your heart. Sometimes vision comes with weights. See, you begin to feel that weight. You begin to feel that pressing. And the feelings could be concern that is deep in you. It could be a responsibility. It could be a sort of restlessness. It could be a sense of this must change. You know that concept? This must change. It could be a burden. Sometimes it comes through burden. Apart from the encounter, you conceive it through burden. Then another one is going through the process. Right? Going through the process. Let's not forget about that burden. Burden is a proof that vision has entered into you. Oh, yeah. A burden is a proof that a vision has entered into you. And remember that what you are not burdened with, you cannot become a vision around it. Huh? What does not burden you cannot be your vision. Can't be your vision. So the last, another stage is the process. Yeah, going through the process. Life has a way to take us through the process. Unknown to us, right? Vision matures through process. Year in, year out, and you see you're committed to certain learning, committed to certain training, committed to waiting, committed to alignment, committed to some things. Sometimes unconsciously, life just happens that way. Yeah, life happens that way because life is helping you to understand or for you to go through what you need to go through to become what you just have to become. So going through process protects your vision from premature exposure. So appreciate going through process, all right? When you go through hard process, don't think life is hard, things are tough, it's again. No. God is with you. You're only going through what you need to go through to become what you should become. So another conception, another way you conceive a vision is through pain. You know that pain is not a sign of failure. It's not. It's an evidence that something real is forming inside of you. Every birth requires pain, and this includes the pain of discipline, the pain of sacrifice, the pain of delay, the pain of loneliness, whatever be the form. You might be going through the pain today, but I want to tell you, it's taking you through for you to become what you should become. So let's talk about the compass of a fulfilling future. The compass, that is the director, the direction. Vision without direction leads to frustration. I tell you. Oh, yeah. When you have a vision and there's no direction, there's no platform, you can be frustrated. You can be frustrated. So you need a compass. So let's talk about 3 or 4 compasses. And that's the first one is the compass of purpose. Purpose gives awareness. Purpose answers questions like, why do I exist? What problem am I wired to solve? Purpose helps you, right? It gives meaning to struggle. Yeah, purpose gives meaning to struggle. So another one is the platform. The platform is where your vision find expression. You need a platform. Could be in a school, where you are, in the ministry, in the business, wherever you find yourself. Wherever you find yourself, you need a platform to be able to manifest the vision, right? You need it because that platform is responsible to amplify your purpose. It could be a platform of training where you are learning and you go from stage into stage. See? So I'd like to challenge you that know that your future is not waiting for you. Your future is waiting inside of you. So what are you doing? What are you doing to bat that vision? Huh? What future are you currently conceiving? Only you can answer that question. So I'd like to stop here to entertain any question anybody could be having.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Are there people with questions? Questions? If you have a question for Pastor Israel Abiodun, please let's entertain your question now. Drop it in the comments. I'm checking other platforms where it's being streamed. There are questions on Facebook and Instagram. All right, please drop your question now so that it can be answered, please. Let's do that in 30 seconds. Questions after this 30 seconds. All right, so I think vision. Okay. I think someone has a question for you, sir. Pastor Israel Abiodun, let me put it on the screen. Is it possible I miss my vision and my dream? Sir, so
all right, yeah. All right, I'm with you.
Yeah, someone asked the question, is it possible I miss my vision and my dream?
Okay. Foremost, let me greet my darling pastor and friend, Pastor Jube. I salute you. Thank you for being here. So, back to the question. Is it possible that you miss your dream or your vision? Yeah, so many people have drifted off track, fulfillment of vision, just as I explained in that clips. I helped you to understand that entering into the fulfillment zone is just like you entering into a door. And that's why I said that you can take your dream, your life vision, just take it like a book that is yet to be opened, a sealed book that is yet to be opened. So many people have started their vision through guidance or whatever be it, and possibly due to frustration, just as Pastor Jube mentioned, frustration and low remuneration, you just see that they are distracted. Yeah, it's possible to lose your vision. Because on the track of fulfillment of vision, especially when you have not been blown up, when you have not become so successful and so notable, I tell you, it's really challenging. Oh yeah. And just as growth is demanding, you have to grow from levels to levels, as Pastor Joubert said, from A to B, from B to C, from C to D. You have to grow into it. And I tell you, the early stage is really demanding. And so many people have been able to, not able to cope, and they have drifted. So it's possible. So the answer is yes, it's very possible. You drift off your vision or you lose your dream. Very possible.
All right, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. Are there other questions before we proceed, please? If you have other questions, please drop it. All right. So I think there are no more questions. But me, I have a question, sir. And my question is that you spoke about conceiving the vision for your future, and you actually gave us points on how to conceive our vision for the future. So if we have a vision in mind that we conceive and that we want to actually act on, but then we have various challenges and situations that are hindering us from giving birth to that vision, from making sure it comes to realization. How can we overcome? It seems as if all odds are working against the person. How can we overcome such a situation or challenge?
All right, thanks for that question. And the answer is quite very simple. And in as much as you have conceived, I explained how to conceive it. So it must be reasonable. Reasonable in the sense that it's not just you. It's not just because you like it. It's not just because you want it. No, you don't want it. I know even the scripture back it up that my ways are not your ways and my thoughts are not your thoughts. So it's not about what you like. It's not about what you want. It's about what you have been wired for. And that is why sometimes we don't want to go into certain direction because we don't like it. But when we give attention to your passion, you give attention to your personal wiring, you will begin to understand that it is a pointer towards the fulfillment of your destiny. So if you're looking at the question now about challenges, I want to tell you challenges are part of growth. Life challenges are part of growth. If you study the scriptures, looking at important symbols, individuals, you will see that it's not been easy. And I tell you, don't expect it to be easy. If you expect it to be easy, then I tell you, you have no future. Just keep telling yourself that it must not be easy. So if you are ministering to yourself that it just must not be easy, you'll be able to build capacity. That's just one factor. There are several things you've got to do to build the capacity. You see, now let me talk about going into the law of gravity. You see, the law of gravity will always act when that force is reduced to the inertia. Then the object that is being thrown begins to fall. So if you want to ride on, you need to keep the momentum high. Whatever is going to cost you, because what is going to work for me is not going to be what is going to work for you. You've got to discover it. There are constant factors, as I said in my clip. We have the factor of learning, the factor of training, and the rest of them. But some factors are not constant. It's going to be personal. You discover it yourself and you know what works for you. So coming around challenging times, difficult times, they are moments of test for you. Okay? They are moments of test to see if you will drift off, to see how you can be distracted. And when your capacity built is low, you will be distracted. Oh yeah. If you are looking around too much, if you are not focused, if you are not concentrating, if you're not building enough capacity, you will be distracted. Because if you look around, you will see there is a lot of reasons to obey the noise that is outside. But if you want to make it, if you want to fulfill destiny, you've got to be focused. And as I said in my clip, I want to tell you, you will be going through tough things you yourself might not really understand. And you might not be able to explain to anybody. Yeah, but in the space of time, as you maintain focus, as you maintain your direction, times will begin to make it easier and easier and easier and easier. Just like one of my friends that told me, he says that a cock that will refuse to crow in Nigeria, if you take it to US or take it to London, it will not crow. Oh yes, it will not crow. So you don't say it's because of your environment, that's why things are not working for you. You don't say it's because those are excuses, and you've got to be proactive. Okay, you've got to be proactive. The economy is not the reason why you are not fulfilling destiny. The economy, the situations, your background, your family's realities, they are not strong enough to keep you away from conceiving vision and riding it into the reality of it. No. So you don't have to be a reactive. You have to be a proactive individual. So when it comes to bad challenges, they are there to test if your capacity is high, if you are sure enough, if you are really convinced that this is for you. They are just a test of time. So expect them. You see, when you have this expectation morally, you have this expectation, your mindset expects challenges, it doesn't weigh you too much. So that's why I said expect challenges and don't expect it to be easy. Tell yourself always that it will not be easy. So don't expect things to be easy. If you do, then I tell you, you have nowhere to go. You have no future to enter into. So when you enter into it, then the faces will open from one stage to the other. Then you can experience the ease. But at the elementary stage, I can tell you that it's going to be difficult. So it's not because you're in Lagos or you're in Port Harcourt or you're in Abuja, that is why it's easy. If it is easy for you at the elementary stage, I tell you, it's not likely you enter into the realm. That's my answer.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. God bless you, sir. Thanks for the answer. The other time there were some questions for Pastor Dayo Jube. So I want to bring up those questions. I think about two of them. Is it one or two? Is it possible? Okay. It's just a question. Let me put it on. So, sir, can you please? Okay, you vomited your mic. So someone asked the question: is it possible I start a dream small, even without financial aid? When you after you spoke the other time before Pastor came on.
All right. It's nice to be back again. First of all, I think I should appreciate Pastor Israel. It's great hearing your voice and seeing your face once again. Good evening, sir, and compliments of the season to you, sir. Nice to see you again. Wow. All right. Concerning the question that was asked, is it possible I start a dream small, even without financial aid? Apparently, the truth of the matter is a dream does not start with finance. It starts with your sight. So what have you seen concerning the dream that you have in mind? And the next thing will then be, what practical step can I take rather, in the course of making that dream to become fulfilled? What are the practical steps? Most of the time we actually have a feeling that it is money that we need to do everything that we need to do. Meanwhile, it is not. Sometimes you can just need to leverage on relationship. You can actually start a dream without your own money, but you can leverage on relationship. You can leverage on other people's resources. You can leverage on network. There are many other things you can actually leverage on as an individual. So I want you to know that fulfillment of a dream does not necessarily have to start with money. It just has to do, or it has to start with your sight. What have you been able to see as an individual, and what practical step can I begin to take? In fact, starting a dream can actually be you start preparing. You start equipping yourself with needed capacity, with needed resources, with needed insight, with needed wisdom that will help you to fulfill that dream. Do you understand what I'm saying? Provided the person that asked the question is still here, So that's what I want you to know. I want you to throw away that idea of money and then begin to ask the question. Somebody said something some time ago that if you can think enough, what you have is enough. And I want you to know that that's very true. I repeat that quote again. If you can think enough, what you have is enough. I say it again. If you can think enough, what you have is enough. But the problem we have most of the time is that we don't make use of our mind because we have been made to think it's all about money, 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 money. So if there is no money, we come to a conclusion that this thing can't be done. But it's actually not really true. There are many things that can be done without money. I repeat, there are many things that can be done without money. So you have to develop your mind to such a point in which you do not see lack of money as a barrier. I repeat again. Develop your mind to such a point where lack of money is never a barrier. Develop your mind to such a point where lack of money is never a barrier. So if you want to do something and you don't have money, I want you to know that what you need to start that thing is available. If you can just enlarge the coast of your mind, if you can improve your mind as a person, you would realize that money is not really a barrier. Do you understand? I thank you for putting that here. There are many things that can be done without money. Develop your mind to such a point where lack of money is never a barrier. So that's my response to that question. Thank you. Any other one?
All right, thank you so much, sir. I don't think there are questions, and the person that asked said thank you, sir. So I think that's all. Thank you so much for your time, sir. Thank you for honoring the invitation. So
Thank God.
all right. So we've heard from our guest speakers. So and we are supposed to, our time is fast spent. We are supposed to end by 7. So the next few minutes will be for my own session, and that's where I'll be talking on the main theme for this year's conference, Beyond Your Vision. I'll be speaking on Beyond Your Vision. Let me try to put that on the screen. Beyond Your Vision, that's what I'll be talking about for the next probably 20 minutes. So now, before we even talk about Beyond Your Vision, before we go beyond your vision, let's talk about your vision first. Now, there have been, thank God for the previous speakers, they've actually spoken about, they've spoken about your, sorry. That's why I was saying thank God for the previous speakers. They've spoken, they've made us to know what the vision is about. I just want to go about it briefly again. According to the Google Dictionary, vision is a state of being able to see. It is the ability for you to think about and to plan a future with an imagination of vision, right? Or wisdom rather. Let me take it again. So it's you being able to see, the ability of you to think about or to plan the future with your imagination or with your wisdom. That is a vision. Now, there are 3 eyes that enables you to see, that enables you to have a vision. The first is your physical eyes, then you have the spiritual eyes, you have the mental eyes, you have the mental eyes, which is the mind, basically, your imagination. So now the type of vision we are talking about here is it encompasses the three, and we'll be focusing much more on the mental eyes, ability for you to see, to see beyond the present circumstance. You see, a vision is first conceived in the mind. A vision is first conceived in the mind, and that is why you need to renew your mind. That is why you need to renew your mind, because if you don't renew your mind, you won't have your mind will not have the capacity to enlarge, capacity to receive more. So that is why you renew your mind. And one of the ways for you to renew your mind is by learning, unlearning, and relearning. Learning, unlearning, and relearning. Because there are so many things that we've learned in the past that they've taught us while growing up. And while some of them are true, they are not totally true, right? So that is why we need to relearn some of those things. We need to relearn some of those things, unlearn them, and also to learn new things again. So what that does is that it expands our mind to be able to conceive more ideas, to be able to conceive more vision for the future. So the reason why you need to renew your mind is because what you see is what you get. What you see is what you get. So what is your vision? I want you to put it in the comments section. What do you see? Like, just type it. What do you see? What do you see? So it is, ask your online neighbors in the comment section, what do you see? What is your vision? What is your vision for 2026? What is your vision for the future? Do you see yourself doing great? I've mentioned it before that the future is not something of 10 years, 20 years, 50 years. The future is now. The future is tomorrow. The future is the next minute. What are you planning to do to better, to be more successful than you were yesterday? Than what are you planning to do differently next year than you did this year, right? So what do you see, right? Do you see yourself doing great and mighty exploits in 2026 and beyond, right? So what do you see? Let me ask you, do you see clearly? Do you see the vision for your future? If what you see is for you to just go to school, get a job, so you can have something to eat and die, well, that is also a vision, but permit me to say it is a limited vision. It is, even if you are going to be a career person, because the first speaker spoke about career, right? So you can be the best. You can see beyond just going to work 9 to 5 and all of that. You can be the best. If you are an HR person or if you are an engineer, you can see beyond just going to work 9 to 5 every day. You can become the best in your field. You can work towards becoming the best, standing out in your industry, right? So what do you see? What do you see? So if you see beyond the normal, if you see beyond what has been set, the templates that has been set for us, that our forefathers have set for us, if you see beyond that, then that means you can see clearly. So if you see yourself hosting conferences, building global businesses, impacting life positively, changing lives of people for the better, then that is what you will get. What you see is what you get, because only those who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who actually do. I'll take it again. Only those who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who actually do. Because for you to even think you can do something different, for you to think you can change the world, for you to think what you carry inside of you, what the idea in your mind, for you to think it can be of positive influence and impact in the life of another person, then it means to majority of people, it means that to some extent you are crazy, because they won't believe you. They will think you don't know what you are saying. Oh, there are a lot of people in the world. There are billions of people in the world, and you are saying you can change the world. That what's now? When you are saying that your vision can change the world, it does not mean literally that it's going to change everything in the world or touch every part of the world. But if you can make impact in the life of just one person, two people, or your family, your community, then you are already making an input in changing the world, in impacting lives. So that is why I said only those who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who actually change the world at the end of the day. All right. So what you see can change the world. What you see can change the world. What you carry can change. The vision that you carry inside of you can change the world, right? However, there are going to be challenges. There are going to be various challenges upon challenges, right? So there will be oppositions, there will be people that don't believe in you, there will be people who try to discourage you, there will be betrayers from friends, from trusted families, but you have to keep moving. You have to keep going home regardless. You see, thank God we are in Christmas, New Year season. Now, Mary, the mother of Jesus, he fell into labor and had pains, normal labor pains, just like every other regular pregnancy. He has normal labor pains. And he is carrying she was carrying the savior of the world. She was carrying the person that is going to change the world. He was carrying the person that is going to turn the world around. That after thousands of years, they are still going to be talking about this person. But she still had that challenge that comes with normal regular pregnancy. She still had that challenge of labor pains. So the fact that what you carry is a vision that will change the world does not mean that you won't have the pains, the difficulties, the disappointments, the challenges that comes with executing any other vision. So just like executing every other vision, you are going to have several challenges. You are going to have several challenges. Now, I know that you have a lot of plans for 2026. You have a lot of plans. You have a lot of things you want to do. You have a lot of plans, right? In 2026, I want to do, and that's how you have always been doing it every year. Before you enter 2020, 2021, and 2022, till 2025, you always wrote New Year's resolutions, New Year plans, and everything. But the fact is that the reason for your plan should be your vision. If there is no reason for you making that plan, then you have no vision. I take it again, the reason for your plan is your vision. So if you don't have any reason for making those plans, it means you don't have a vision yet. There must be a reason powering up that plan that you are making. And that is one of the reasons why you have not achieved most of the things that you are making plan towards. Let me give an illustration. Let's assume you are planning to, let's say, get a car, right? That is your plan. One of your plans for 2026 is that you get a car. Now, what is the reason behind you getting a car? Is it because so that you can impress your friends, you can tell them that you've arrived a certain level and people can see that you have a car, you are no longer trekking, whereas the major places that you go, they are not far from you. Your church is behind your house, your place of work is like at the junction of your house and all of that. You don't really have basically a need but for it. Then that means there is no vision powering it. But when you have something you really want to do with that car, let's say your business has reached a stage, you need to expand it, and the car will help you with ease of movement and to help you to distribute to your goods to your clients and to all the other things. Or you are a family person, you can no longer move around with bikes and tricycles and all of that. So those things are a vision that you are planning to accomplish. Is a vision in your heart that you want to bring to realization. Now, that car is a tool for you to achieve that vision. That car is really not your vision. That car is really not your vision. So look at that, your plans that you have written down. Are they truly backed up by a vision? Are they really a vision that you want to accomplish, that you now have big plans towards? Because your vision should give birth to the plans, not the plans giving birth to the vision, right? your vision, what you consider, what you have in mind to achieve should be what will give birth to the plans that will enable you to achieve it. It is not the plan that will give birth to the vision. So, and also, if you are not wise in the way you go about your vision can suffer and be delayed if you are not wise in the way you go about it. Now, with every vision, there is going to be wisdom to be applied to it, because there are going to be people that will jealous you, the people that will be like, this one, you want to do. Let me give an illustration from stories that we are familiar with. Somebody like Joseph had the, what is it called? The brothers are going to bow down to him one day, blah 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 blah, and then, but he wasn't wise in the way he went about it, because he kept telling them up and down, and that caused a delay in him achieving that. It caused a delay. The same thing, someone like Jacob, somebody that God has already said, I love Jacob, I hate Esau, and somebody that's already received blessing from his father, and somebody that already had an encounter with an angel, but then he was still trading his future for a woman. He said to Laban, I'm going to trade 7 years of my life for this woman. And after that 7 years, when he was unable to achieve that, he said, I'm going to waste another 7 years of my life so that I can get this woman. So you to ask yourself, what have you been trading your future for? What have you been trading your time for? What have you been trading for your future? The things that you are supposed to work on, have you been trading them away, wasting your time, delaying the achievement of that your vision? So you have to be wise in the way you go about your vision, so that your vision will not suffer, so that your vision will not be delayed. I've said it before that your vision does not have to make sense to everybody. It has to make sense to you, and you need maximum of just one person to believe in you for you to just execute and go ahead and do what you want to do, basically. So now, how do you see a vision? How do you see beyond your current vision? Now, I've said it before, that before you can even talk about seeing beyond your present vision, you have to deal with the vision that you have already. Now, first is that you see a vision for your future first. Have a vision. Consider what do I want to do with my life? What do I want to do with my life in the coming months? What do I want to do with my life in the next 3 months, in the next 6 months, the next 1 year, in the next 5 years? What do I want to do? Those are the things. Those are your vision. Now, when in December 2024, before we entered 2025, I wrote a 6 months transformation. I wanted to change my life in 6 months based on the level I was that time. So I set daily plans for what I will do every day of the week from January 1st, 2025 to June 30th. 2025. So that is you having a vision, and you document. I wrote everything out. So you have to see a vision for your future first. You have to document it, and then identify the challenges that may come with it. Okay. So identify the challenges and opportunities that may come with it. They are the same way there are challenges that will come, and the same way that opportunities will show. Challenges is not everything. So by the way, challenges are custom made. Yours may be different from mine, but you will never experience something that will be beyond you, right? So identify the challenges and the opportunities that comes with it. Well, when you have documented it, then you know what you need. Then you look at it. What are the things available for me at the moment that I can leverage on? Then be ready. So when you have identified those challenges and all that, you have to be ready to pay the price. Be ready to pay the price, right? And then be consistent, regardless of the oppositions. Just be consistent with doing what you have said you will do, either it's convenient for you or not. That's what we call call consistency. You have to be showing up to do what you said you are going to do every day, either it's convenient for you or not. Then you should, I've mentioned this before, you should learn, unlearn, and relearn everything that you need to know. It is part of renewing your mind so you can see beyond your current vision. So you have to learn everything. Let's assume you want to be somebody that wants to become a medical doctor, right? You have to learn the things that will enable you to succeed in that line. So we've been making vision, we've been seeing visions since we were young. We are just not paying attention to them. Like, for example, when you were young, you said you wanted to you were in primary school, but you saw people that were in secondary school. You were like, one day I want to be like these people. Me too, I want to enter secondary school. And when you entered secondary school, you were like, me too, I want to enter the university. I like the way doctors behave. I like the way they dress. I like the way lawyers argue in the court of law. I want to be like them. I want to be like them. And you actually studied in that line to be like them. And when you were in school, after some time, you were like, oh, I love these people that usually wear green khaki, NYSC. Me too, I want to go to NYSC camp. I want to do this, I want to do that. And you have been setting those goals, those visions, you have been setting this for yourself, and you have been achieving them. But when it now comes to life itself, reality itself, we suddenly just lose, we don't know how to conceive visions anymore. The same thing you have been doing before, you just have to do it in a better way. The same way you have been aspiring that you want to be this, you want to be that, and you're able to do that. It's the same way you should be able to see that, okay, after my school, after my studies, after this thing, what do I want to do with my life? Do I just want to become a full housewife or a full house husband? Or, you don't get me wrong, I'm not saying those becoming a full house this thing is wrong, but do I just want to limit myself to some services, or do I want to do, because there is more? There is more. So you can always achieve more. You can always achieve more. So that is it. So now I've mentioned. So I've mentioned that you can always achieve more. I wrote it on my note here that there is more, where all of the things that all of the things that you can ever think or imagine, there is more where they came from. And the fact that you can think them, the fact that you can achieve them, it means they are possible. They are possible. So whatever it is that you have towards 2026 that you have written down, or that you just want to write down, that these are the things I want to achieve. Let the coming year not be like other years that have passed, that you write down things, and at the end of the day, you are unable to achieve them. No, let there be a fire from inside of you that is igniting this, that, no, I must not give up. December 2026 is just 365 days from now. It's just 365 days. What will I be? Where will I be? What will I say? What would I say that I've achieved by the end of that year? So do it. So now, it is when now I mentioned about 5 or 6 things to do to see beyond it. Now, the last and the most important one is that you should act on the present vision. No matter how little, you should act on it. It is when you act on the vision that you already have that you'll be able to see more. You won't see beyond. You won't see anything if you do not act on the ones that you can see already. You won't see beyond them. So it is when you act on the vision that you already have that you'll be able to see more vision. And that is where my topic comes from. Seeing beyond your current vision, beyond your vision, seeing beyond what you are currently. It does not matter how little or how small your vision is. What matters is the step that you take towards it. Is the step that you take towards it. That is what matters. Now, God told Abraham that he should work on a land that he has given it, that as far as his eyes can see, he's going to give it to him and his generation forever. The fact remains that if Abraham stood where he was and he looked like this, northeast, southwest, and he looked like that, he will see a lot of lands, and God is going to give him that. But if he walked more on that land, he's able to see more. Let's assume from your house to the junction, if you stand in front of your house, you are still going to see a lot of houses, a lot of places around you. But if you, as you keep on moving, walking towards your junction, you are going to see more roads, more lands, more buildings, more houses, a lot of things that you are going to see even before you get to the junction. That is how it is. So the more you work on what you are doing at the moment, is the more your eyes are going to be open to see more things. It is your imagination are going to be open to see more things. Now, I give you an example. When I was in the university, I think about 200 level, I started a platform that is for like students of my school to get information basically, and it's for them. It's like a WhatsApp TV where all of them actually get information about the school. It's just within WhatsApp, and we just started it, and it's kept on growing from there, kept on growing. And before I knew it, I had the whole of the audience of my institution. Like, don't let me exaggerate, but I can say like 80 to 90% of the students and staff of my institution, in our institution, I have them on my platform, viewing my status. So in a day, sometimes I have more than 7,000 views, and I had like 40,000 contacts of this. Then I started seeing more. Now, I was like, oh, what can I do? What can I do? This thing is expanding. What can I do? Then I came up again with the idea of building a mobile app for that institution where they can do a lot of things, get promote their business, get information, connect with students, do a lot of things within the app, check their results and all of that. I saw more, and before I knew it, I started having a lot of people, like 10,000 people using the app. And now I'm already thinking, how can I take this thing further? Okay, they are using it in my institution, or how can I take it further? Then I'm saying, okay, let me take it across the institutions of Nigeria. So I'm already making plans now out of my pay. Okay, what are the things? This one of the things I'm going to do in 2026 is that I'm going to expand this thing to other institutions. And I'm sure that by the time I'm able to achieve that, I will see more. I'll say, if a lot of institutions are using this in Nigeria, why can we not expand it to Africa? Why can we not do this? So, but it started from a particular place. It started from me just updating my status with information and all of that, and like that about the school. And I started seeing more. I started achieving more. So it does not matter how small, how little your current vision is, how little you can see now. Act on what you can see first. To everybody, there's been a measure of grace, a measure of vision that has been deposited into each and everybody. That's been deposited. It's just like the story of those who were given talents in the Bible. That one was given 3, was it 3 or 5? One was given 2, and one was given 1. And the person with 5 traded with it, the person with 2 traded with it. The person with 1 said it's too small. But the fact is that if he had traded with that, he will be able to see more. More will also be committed into the person's hands. So you seeing beyond your vision starts by you acting on the current vision that you have. You seeing beyond your vision, you are achieving beyond whatever plan, whatever things you have said you are going to do. You are achieving more than that. Starts by you developing that which you can see already, by you developing that which is in your heart already. Now, for example, this particular conference or that we have, it is a vision that I mentioned it at the beginning of the conference, that it was when I was about to pass out of the NYSC scheme that I had that vision of gathering youths and all of that, talking to them and about their future basically. And when I did that, I thought that was all. But then later I kept on saying, well, no, I can make this a yearly event. It can become a yearly event. It can become this thing. Who knows? Maybe it will still become something that will be done every month or something like that. And it will still expand beyond this, beyond probably the one we'll be having next year will definitely be bigger than this. But if I did not start at that time, then now I won't say I'm doing the season 2. Do you understand? So basically, for you to see beyond where you are, for you to go beyond where you are, you have to first act on that which you would already see, that which you can already imagine, that which you set for yourself already. You have to act on it. And the more you act, the more the vision expands. The more you work on the land, the more the vision expands. So that is what I have for us this evening. Thank you very much for joining this conference, Ignite Your Future Conference Season 2, and with the team Beyond Your Vision. And we trust God that next year will be bigger and better. So if you have questions for me, please drop it in the comments while I take your question, because we have just 9 minutes to 7, so that I can be done with this conference and call it a year, and I'll see you in the future. So if you have questions, please, I'm waiting in the comments. Let's take 30 seconds. After the 30 seconds, if I don't see questions, then after the 30 seconds, if I don't see questions, then I believe we don't have questions. All right, we are back. What should we do to the 2025 goals that we couldn't achieve? All right, so let me answer that. Okay, so as I said before that there should be something more backing up the goals, and it is your vision that will give birth to the goals. So the goals that you put down, number one question you want to ask yourself is that, is there a vision that is actually backing it up? Is there something that is really, really backing it up? Or is just something that I just wish to do? I just feel like, for example, I just want to buy a car because I feel like buying a car. Or it's just, and nothing is wrong in feeling like you buying something. So I think that example is not a straight example. But you get what I'm trying to say is that there should be a major reason, a major why, a major purpose attached to why you want to do that thing. And if there is a major reason, a major purpose attached to that, a major why you want to do it, then you will not relent, even though you did not achieve it in 2025. Even though you didn't achieve it in 2025, you can achieve it in 2026, and you can even achieve it in a bigger and better way in 2026. So it happens sometimes that you are not able to achieve everything that you said you are going to do. And sometimes you even achieve some things that you did not plan you are going to achieve. And sometimes you don't achieve some things that you plan to achieve. So let's assume you put down 10 things, I want to achieve 10 things, and at the end of the day, you are only able to achieve 7. If you look at it very well, there will be other things that you achieved that are not actually in your list. So the fact that you did not achieve the 10 does not mean you are a failure. No, you are not a failure. So you just pick those things. What went wrong? Why could I not achieve this thing in 2025? Why didn't I achieve this? What's the main reason why I was unable to achieve this? Then you write it. They are personal to you, so you have to look at your list, your list of the things, of the plans you've set for yourself. what is the reason why I did not achieve this? What is the reason why I did not achieve this second one? What is the reason why I didn't achieve the third one? So when you know the reason, when you ask yourself those questions and you know the reason, then it will help you to know what to do better in 2026. Because as one of my mentors usually say, Pastor Israel Abiodun, he says that a better you is possible. A better you is possible. So it is, you can even do better than you have planned to do in 2025. So those 2025 goals, don't put them away. The fact that you're unable to achieve them does not mean they are trash. No, bring them back, renew them. I cannot make them better. I cannot achieve them this time round. So put them down, write them down. This thing, I'm going to achieve this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that in 2026. And I believe if you work on it, if you work towards it, you will be very close to it. Like, you are going to even achieve it. If you don't achieve it, and that will be there's going to be a major reason that you can point to why you did not achieve it. So don't throw away the goals. Don't throw away the goals, work on them in a better way, and add new goals to it in 2026, add new things to it. And I'm certain that you are definitely going to achieve every one of them. So I think that should be all. I have 4 minutes left. What's the second question? How do we know when to give up on something that is not working? Wow. Well, this question is a question that is usually frequent. That I usually say, how do we know when to give up on something that's not working? Okay, I have said it before, but it is for something not to work, there's a reason why it's not working. Is it that you are not doing it better? Now, sometimes you have to learn a lot about something. You have to learn a lot about it. For example, if you have a business, I always like using business as an example because I'm a business person. And if you have a business and there is a particular thing you are trying to do in your business and it has consistently failed, now before you give up on, let's trash this thing, we don't think it's going to work out, you look at all the possible reasons why this thing is not working. Is it that you did not invest enough time in it, enough resources? Is it that you did not market it very well? Is it that that is not what the market wants? Is it that that's not what you are pushing to people? That's not what they want. Then you need to learn what the market wants, how to satisfy the market. Is it so? You have to look at a lot of things why it's not working. And if you have put down a lot of reasons why it's not working, then at some points, after working on it several times, you will, if you are going to give up on it, you will know that it will get to a stage that you will know that you should give up on it. But naturally, you shouldn't give up on things. I'm sorry, give me a minute. I'm trying to check something. Okay. All right, sorry, I'm back. All right, so as I was saying, you will know when the time comes for you to give up. When you have tried everything that could be tried, when you have invited, you've asked mentors, you asked maybe people in that field that this thing, I'm trying to do this thing and it has consistently failed. And I've tried this, I've tried that. They will help you with their own inputs because that's why mentors are there. They have passed through that stage. They can be able to tell you this thing, don't bother about it. This thing, do it. This thing, do it this way. Do it that way. Do you understand? So if you have sought mentorship, you have learned a lot of things about that thing that you can do better, and you've consistently done everything that you can do. You've prayed about it. You've if you pray about, if you pray about it, and you will know if you should give up on it or if you just spend it. There are sometimes that you don't really have to give up on something. It might just be that it's not the right time for it. You might just have to pend it for some time and then come back to it later. You just have to pend it for some time and come back to it later. So, and when it's time for you to get back to doing that thing, you will know. For example, there is a particular business I started when I was, I think maybe other level or very early to other level, that did not work out. And it didn't work out not because it won't work out, but because of a lot of things which I cannot, because I have limited time now. So it could not work out. Now, it does not mean that it's not a business I will not go back into. It is something I put down that I'm still definitely going to come back to it, to work on it. I'm still going to. I've already made a lot of research. I knew why it didn't work out. I knew what to do. I know what to do better. I know how to get it better. So definitely, if I come back to it, I will do better. So that is just it. And yeah, you will know if you should give up on something or not. All right. So I think I've been able to answer your question. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you very much. I will see you in the future. Sorry, my lights. Well, I believe we've sorted everything and I've answered your questions. So thank you so much once again. See you in the future. I'll be ending this live stream now.